So you know how to find the perfect ATM? Today in the video, I'm going to give you those tips and tricks. All right, so how do you find the perfect ATM? Well, first of all, you got to know what you're looking for. So point number one is manufacturer. There's 4 manufacturers. Some of the manufacturers behind there. We have Gen Mega, we got Balloon, we got Nautilus, we got Triton. Those are your 4 manufacturers. So which ATM manufacturer is going to be right for you? That'll be up to you. Point number 2, there's levels. Phil, there's levels to this thing. I always hear everybody saying. Well, here's what happens is the ATM manufacturers are behind me and Balloon. They have an entry level and then they have a 1-step up level. Usually the difference is somewhere between $150 and $200 when you move up the level. Now, you're in the ATM business or you're thinking about getting in, the entry level ATM is just fine for every occasion. It doesn't matter. In my opinion, the first level is just as good as the second level. The second level has a little bit bells and whistles. Most of the time, the second level has a touch screen where the first level has buttons. Is it gonna make you more money? That'll be up to you. In my experience, the second level doesn't make you any more money, but it looks a little bit nicer. Some ATM entrepreneurs, they say, you know what, I'm gonna go with the second level. I wanna be a little more classier than my competition. But at the end of the day, the first level is just as nice as the second level. You're gonna make that decision for you and your business. Some people at the higher volumes, they wanna go with the next level up. Some ATM operators say, we're only going with the second level. And some ATM entrepreneurs say, you know what, the first level is just fine for me. So it'll be all in your business plan, what you want to accomplish. But keep in mind, the difference is about $150. Let's just say ballpark it at $200. So if you're thinking about starting your own profitable ATM business but didn't know where to start, stay in the end of the video and I will show you our checklist entitled ATM Business Passive Income Checklist. The 5 things you need to know to start your profitable ATM business so you can have a clear roadmap towards ATM business success. You can earn between $250 and $1,500 of passive income every single month. All right, let's get back to the video. Point number 3 is new versus used. A lot of people, they start up an ATM business, they buy new ATMs, and then they get to a certain point and they buy used ATMs. A used ATM, you could probably save yourself between $500 and $700 versus a new ATM. Some people say, hey, I'm ready to do used, and that is well and good, but you gotta know what you're looking for. So make sure that you don't buy the wrong ATM when you buy a used ATM. Point number 4, now when we buy used ATMs, we got to deal with compliance. What are some of the compliance issues? Before it used to be EMV, that stands for Euro, MasterCard, Visa. We had to have ATMs that when you put the card in, it would clamp down and it would read an EMV chip. Most all ATMs currently right now read EMV chip. If your ATM or you buy an ATM and it doesn't clamp down your card, it is not an EMV compliant ATM. So you're gonna make sure that if you're buying a used ATM, it does have that. The second thing is it has to have PCI compliance. So you should buy an ATM with a PCI compliant keypad. So if you don't buy an ATM with a keypad that's PCI compliance, you could be looking at anywhere from $600 to $800 for a keypad for your ATM. So you want to make sure that if you buy an ATM, it's already PCI compliant with the latest greatest keypad. And if it isn't, you can look to spend an additional $600 to $800 on a new keypad. And point number 5, and I see this a lot, you got the floor ATMs or the wall ATMs. Now, what's the difference? Usually a floor ATM is easily to move. So if you find a location, you put your ATM in there, it doesn't work out, you can easily move that ATM to the next location. If you buy a wall ATM, and I see a lot of people buying wall ATMs, beautiful ATM, nothing against the ATM, except for you're gonna have to put that on the wall. And you gotta make sure that the ATM is ADA compliant, which means it has to be at a certain level of height. So if people in a wheelchair, they can use your ATM. If you buy a wall unit, most of the time they put them in this area and they're not ADA compliant. They're putting them for somebody who's standing up and not somebody in the wheelchair. Second thing is if you got to move that ATM and the ATM location doesn't work out, now you got to pull it off the wall. You're going to have holes in the wall. It's going to be a nightmare. Plus also mounting it is very hard. So think about that. Even though it looks cute to buy that ATM that hangs on a wall, make sure that you are construction savvy enough to install that ATM and deinstall that ATM. Keep in mind, also it's easy to remove by thieves. So it has to be secured on the back. You have to put anchors and additional anchors so people don't just be able to pull that ATM off the wall and put it underneath their arm. Make sure that you are savvy enough to do this before you purchase this wall ATM. And also the ATM wall units don't hold as much as a floor unit. So just keep all those points in mind if you're thinking about buying a wall unit, but make sure that you know exactly what you're doing. All right, so if you're thinking about starting your own ATM business, I want to invite you to our free checklist entitled ATM Business Passive Income Checklist, the 5 things you need to know to start your profitable ATM business. So you can start earning passive income, make more money for your family, and spend more time with them also. If that sounds like something that's interesting to you, click the link down below and start your ATM journey today. Again, this is Phil from the ATM Mastermind group page, where we buy your freedom at one transaction at a time. Thank you guys for making us #1 on YouTube, and I'll see you over at the next ATM Mastermind video.